Geirangerfjord, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in western Norway, is one of the most dramatic fjord landscapes on Earth, carved by glaciers over millennia into sheer cliffs that plunge directly into deep, mirror-still waters. Cascading waterfalls such as the Seven Sisters and the Bridal Veil thread down the cliff faces year-round, feeding the fjord below and defining the region's iconic silhouette. Architecture here has long responded to the terrain. Traditional Norwegian timber cabins, known as hytter, are built low and compact with steep pitched roofs to handle heavy snowfall, their dark stained wood blending into the forested hillsides rather than competing with the landscape. This relationship between modest, nature-integrated architecture and overwhelming natural scenery is precisely what makes Geirangerfjord not just a destination, but a design philosophy, where the land always takes precedence. At just 16 by 23 feet, this concept cabin is a masterclass in compact living. The two-story gable form with an integrated glass conservatory on the ground floor adds a sun-filled extension without expanding the structural footprint, a smart strategy for gaining usable space in a small build. Unlike the all-timber cabins in this series, this concept introduces a rendered white exterior with dark wood framing, a combination that reflects a more transitional style between traditional Norwegian height and modern mountain architecture. The standout feature is the full-glass conservatory extension on the ground floor, oriented directly toward the fjord to maximize passive solar gain and capture the view without requiring additional interior space. The steep slate roof, stone chimney, and upper balcony with external staircase remain consistent with Nordic vernacular principles, proving that material contrast on the facade doesn't have to come at the cost of architectural identity.